출발할게. 부릉부릉.
Good evening, I am Kim Ji-hoon, Director of Project Moon. This autumn, we are exhibiting at Tokyo Game Show. And thanks to that, we are having so much fun to meet Japanese game fans, and we are honored as well. I am also want to extend my appreciation to all the Project Moon fans watching this program from various locations around the world. This year, all the members of our development team have been working very hard to create an enjoyable game for the launch of Limbus Company, which is our third project. In this program, we are going to give the overview of the core part of Limbus Company. If you get interested in this game, please play Limbus Company, which will be launched in a couple of months. I can imagine you playing this game with joy. I am very much looking forward to it. Let me start the introduction of Limbus Company.
림버스 컴퍼니의 세계관에 대하여
Let me share with you the worldview of Limbus Company.
림버스 컴퍼니는
In Limbus Company, there are 26 areas in a massive city in which you can take on a journey of the story. Among areas, you will see clear differences in climate, topologies, technological developments, and cultures. In each area, there are some characteristics, rules, and taboos coming from the differences. In this game, you will be a manager who handles 12 sinners. You will take them to various places in the massive city and take on a journey to find the golden bow. They have different backgrounds, personalities, behaviors, and values. You will encounter various events and face lots of difficulties. They have their own relationships and stories. You will find out their backgrounds through this journey. As I have mentioned, you will go around the city and find the golden bow. That is the goal of the game. The golden bow in this game means the core technology of Lobotomy Corporation branch. Together with your guys, Virgil and Cullen, you will take a bus to visit the Lobotomy Corporation branches at various locations. Lobotomy Corporation was a company to generate a big energy from creature called abnormalities. Due to one event, the company fell, but you still see remains of its branches here and there in the city. The golden bow is hidden somewhere in the ruins of their branches. You have to be careful. There are others who also want to get the golden bow. Abnormalities are still there inside Lobotomy branch. You are going to face mysterious creatures during your quest for the golden bow. You have to find a way to control creatures, watch out the characteristics of each abnormality, and fight together with the sinners.
It may be difficult for you to fight against abnormalities who is wandering in the robotomy branch, and also the enemies were looking for the golden balls with the facing the capabilities of the prisoners. So you can collect the identity from the world, and you can utilize their identities for the better places or better opportunities to fight against the enemy. And in the Robotomy Corporation, there was a technology to extract weapons and armor from the abnormalities, which is EGO, and to reflect the features of abnormalities. You can proceed with the battles using these weapons and armors, and also with the optimal EGO for the prisoners. You can control the enemy more effectively. That's all for the introduction. Next, I'd like to talk about the Battle of Limbus Company and also the contents.
이상이라고. 속이는 이상이요.
파우스트예요.
이 몸의 차례인가? 난 돈키호테일세!
거울 속에는 소리가 없어.
언제가 되면 만족할 수 있을까?
이게 다 무엇이란 말인가?
림버스 컴퍼니에서 하나의 장은
Limbus
여러
Company's
개의 스테이지로
chapter consists of several
구성되어 있습니다.
stages.
입장할 스테이지를 선택하면
So if you choose the stage to
스테이지에 대한
enter,
정보가
the information
출력됩니다.
related to the stage is output.
이곳에서는 스테이지
From here,
추천
stage
평균
name,
레벨,
recommended
경쟁하는
advantage,
적의 정보,
average level,
EX 클리어
and the
조건을
information of the
확인할 수
enemy
있습니다.
and EX clear conditions can be
스테이지에 입장할
checked.
때는
When you enter the stage,
엔케파인이라는 재화를
you choose the
사용합니다.
currency named Enkefaring.
플레이어는 12명의 인격을
And for players, you
전투
have
조건에
to
맞춰
combine
편성해야 합니다.
12 identities
전투에
according to the
참여할 수
condition
있는
of the
민원이
battle, and the
각
number of
스테이지마다
the
다르기
participants in the battle is different by stage.
일부 스테이지에서는 전투 시작
And
전후에
in some
스토리가
of the
진행됩니다.
stages, the story begins just
스토리
after the
메뉴에서는
start of the
스킵
battle,
버튼,
and the
자동
story
재생,
menu has a skip
로그 확인
button,
기능이
auto replay,
준비되어
and
있습니다.
log check functions.
모든 스토리는
And
한국어
all the
풀
stories
보이스를
will be
기획하고
delivered
있습니다.
in a Korean full voice.
전투에서는 화면 하단에
In the
있는
battle,
조작 패널을
you
사용합니다.
can use the control panel just below
왼쪽부터
the screen,
오른쪽까지
and from left
스킬
to
아이콘을
right.
차례대로 이으면
If you
전투가
change the
진행됩니다.
skill icons, the battle
스킬
goes
아이콘을
on.
종료 지점까지
And
이으면
if you change the
전투가
skill icon to the
시작됩니다.
end point, the battle starts.
인격이 사용하는 스킬은
And the
한 개 이상의
skills
코인으로 구성되어
that
있고
the identity
코인이
uses
앞면이냐
consist of more
뒷면이냐에
than
따라서
one coin,
스킬의
and the
위력과
top side
효과가
or bottom side of the coins would define the power of the skills and
스킬
also the
사용
effectiveness.
직전에
Before
코인을
using the
돌려서
skills, you would do the
위력과
coin
효과의
toss to
판정을 진행합니다.
identify the power and effectiveness and then execute.
일반 전투에서는
In an
스킬
ordinary
아이콘을
battle,
이을 때마다
once you
스킬
change the skill
슬롯과
icons,
앞에서부터
it responds to the
합을
skill slot of
진행합니다.
enemy, and then the match
합이란
would
아군과
start from the
적군의 스킬이
beginning.
서로
Match is
부딪혔을
the
때
event
발생하는
which may
이벤트입니다.
happen when your side or
스킬의
enemy
강함과 운에
side
따라
skill
합의
match.
승패가
And
결정되며
according to the strength
합에서
and
진
lack of
인격은
skills, the
스킬
match
사용이
would be decided
취소됩니다.
like win or lose. And if
하단에
the
체력
identity is
UI 옆에 푸른
lost,
구체는
the skill is
인격의
cancelled.
정신력을
And the lower
나타냅니다.
part, physical UI, blue,
정신력에 따라
blue square
전투에
shows
사용하는
the sanity
코인의
of the
안면 등장
identity.
확률이
According to the sanity
증가하거나
level, the
감소합니다.
probability of the top side
전투
coin
상황에 따라
appears will be
인격의
changed
정신력은
in the
실시간으로
battle. And according to
변하며
the status of the
전투에 영향을
battle,
미칩니다.
the sanity of the identity will be changed on a real-time basis, affecting the battle.
패닉에 빠지거나 에고에
When you have the
침식되는
minimum level of sanity,
부정적인
each
효과를
identity might get
얻습니다.
panicked or corroded by EGO. There will
같은
be
색의
negative
스킬을 사용하게
impact.
되면
And when you
스킬의
use a
피해량이
skill of the same
증가합니다.
color,
이를
you get
죄악
more
공명이라고
damage.
합니다.
This is what we called
바로
evil
인접한
resonance.
같은
And
색의
the
스킬이
when
세 개
there are
이상
three
연결되면
skills of same
스킬의
color
피해량이
located
훨씬
each other,
증가합니다.
damage
이를
is much
완전 공명이라고
increased.
합니다.
This is what we call complete
공명은
resonance.
인격이
And resonance
분명한
is
패시브
essential
스킬을
to
발동하기
achieve
위한
passive skill
조건이기도
of an
합니다.
identity.
어떤 공명을 어떻게
The
활용하는지가
revolutionary strategy
Limbus
of
Company의
Limbus Company
핵심
is how
전략입니다.
to utilize resonance.
공격 스킬마다 참교,
And for
관통,
each
타격,
attack, there are three
총 세
types:
가지의 유형이
splash, penetration,
존재합니다.
and hit.
적의 약점을 공략하는
And
것은
one of the effective
유용한 전략 중
strategy is
하나입니다.
to understand the weak points of opponents.
피해를 받아 체력 게이지에 있는
When you are
노란선
damaged
아래로
and
체력이
your
감소할 경우
upper is decreased under the yellow line of the gauge, you are in confusion situation. You will be very fragile to all the attacks during the turn, and you cannot do anything.
턴을 시작할 때마다
When you
조작
proceed
패널에
one turn, you
임의의
get
인격 행동들이
arbitrary identity
하나씩
action line
추가됩니다.
on your control panel.
턴이 시작될 때 각 인격의
When
속도값에
a
따라
turn is
조작
started,
패널에
depending on the
순서대로
speed value of
배치됩니다.
each identity, control panel is
턴을
positioned.
종료하면 사용한
Once
스킬
a turn
아이콘이
finishes,
속성 자원으로 환산됩니다.
your skill icon will be converted to attribute resource.
속성 자원은 에고
It
스킬을
is
사용하기
essential
위한
to use
조건입니다.
EGO skill.
인격은 속성
An
자원을
identity
소모하여
can
본인이
consume
장착한
at
에고
this
스킬을 사용할 수
to use
있습니다.
EGO skill he or she has.
에고의 위력은 게임의 전황을
And that
뒤집을
this
수 있을
becomes
정도로
powerful.
강력합니다.
And it can even flip the battle situation.
에고 스킬을 사용하면
So
에고의
with
지속
EGO
효과가
skill,
활성화되어 인격이
continuing
한층
effect
더
of EGO
강해집니다.
is stimulated and your identity becomes stronger.
하지만 정신력이 낮을 때
However,
에고
if you
스킬을
use
사용하면
EGO skill when
인격이 에고에
your
침식될 수
sanity
있습니다.
level is low, your identity might receive negative impact from
인격이 에고에
EGO.
침식되면
So when
강력한
you
효과를 발휘할
are
수 있지만
corroded by EGO, you can experience powerful effect, but you cannot control your identity. You have to be careful.
전투에서 승리하면
When
유저
you win a
경험치와
battle, you
인격
can get
경험치를 얻습니다.
user experience point and identity
각
experience
스테이지에
point.
EX 클리어 조건을 달성해
When you achieve a
재화
target
보상을
set for
획득할
each
수도
stage
있습니다.
EX, you can get additional reward.
전투에서 패배하면
When you
유저
lose a
경험치와
battle, you
인격
cannot get
경험치를
user
얻을 수
experience point
없으나
or identity
엔케팔렌을
experience point,
돌려받게
but you
됩니다.
can get
화면에
Encaferin back.
표시되는 팁을
You can
참고하여
learn from tips
만반의
on the
준비를
screen.
갖추고
You have to be
다시
prepared
도전해
and
봅시다.
try it once again.
료슈, 요료슈쿠?
메르소, 그렇게 불러주겠습니까?
홍로라고 한답니다. 잘해보자고요, 우리.
아, 이제 왔나?
고막을 찢을 것만 같은 고성이 귀를 사정없이 때려댄다.
뭐 어디에나 있을 법한 흔한 집안이었죠.
각 장의 마지막에는 스토리 던전이
At the end of
등장합니다.
each chapter, there is a story dungeon.
스토리 던전은
In
정해진
story
맵을 탐험하는
dungeon, you will
방식입니다.
explore a designed map,
관리자님은
and the executive manager will move the dungeon map step by step and make a progress in event in each room.
각 방에는 일반 전투,
In each room,
환상체
there are
전투,
events like a
특수
general
선택지 등의
battle,
이벤트가
abnormality
배치되어
battle, and
있습니다.
special options.
스토리 던전은
Story dungeon is a
전투 중에
roguelite
손실된
style.
수감자들의
When a
체력,
sinner loses
정신력,
power,
사망 상태가
sanity, or
유지됩니다.
when a sinner is dead during the battle, that condition will
던전
continue.
내부에는 세이브 포인트가 있어요.
There are save points in the dungeon where all the sinners can recover their physical and mental strengths.
회복됩니다.
And when all the identities in the battle are dead in the dungeon, you can try the battle once again with the remaining identities.
남은 인격으로 전투에 재도전할 수 있습니다. 하나 모든
However,
인격이 전투
if all
불능되면
the identities are inactive, you have to start from the save point once again.
던전에서는
In
환상체
dungeon,
전투가
abnormality
새롭게
battle is
추가됩니다.
newly added.
환상체는
Abnormality
일반 전투에서 마주한 적보다
battle
훨씬 더
is much
강력한
stronger.
존재입니다.
Abnormality is much stronger than the enemies you fought in the general
괴물일
battle,
수도,
and
신일
they
수도,
could be
사람일
monsters,
수도,
they could be
아니면
gods,
그 밖에
they could
무한한
be human,
가능성의
or any
어떤 것일 수도
other
있습니다.
something which have unlimited
일반
probabilities.
전투에서
And
인격의
in the
스킬
abnormalities
아이콘들을 차례대로
battle,
이었던 것과는 달리 환상체
you can
전투에서는
change the identity skill icon of abnormality skills one by one to
하나씩
proceed
연결하며
with the
전투를
battle.
진행합니다. 조작 패널에 있는 스킬 아이콘을
And
환상체
also
상단에
on the
있는
control panel, you can see the skill icon, and also you can connect them and you can change them with the upper part of the abnormalities. And then once all the control panel skill icons and abnormality skill slots are changed, the battle starts. And so many abnormalities have strong skills which represent the appearance and capabilities.
환상체는
Abnormality consists of more than one part.
부위는 파괴되어
The
사라질 수
parts
있지만
may disappear by destruction.
따라서는
However,
다시
for some
재생될 수
abnormalities, they
있습니다.
can be regenerated.
이와 같은 까닭으로
Because of them,
환상체 전투는
abnormalities
일반
battle
전투에
is
비해 더욱
requiring
전략적인
more
선택과
selections, like strategic
요구합니다.
selections and also constellation, compared with the general
환상체
battles.
전투 중에는
During the abnormality battles,
선택지 이벤트가
so
발생합니다.
rarely the choice events may happen.
선택지에 제시된
In order
질문과
to overcome
해당
the
난관을
questions
헤쳐나가기
presented in the
필요한
choice and
판정이
also
있습니다.
overcome the difficult points, you have to make a necessary
여러분이 선택한 결과에 따라
judgment. According to the
전투에
results
영향을
of
주는
your
이벤트를
choice, you
경험할 수
may
있을
experience an
것입니다.
event which may affect the battle.
특정 환상체와의 전투
And
이후에는
after the battle with
전리품은
abnormalities,
에고
you can
기프트를
get
얻을 수
the
있습니다.
EGO gift.
에고 기프트는
The
해당
EGO
던전에서만
gift can be
적용되는
used in the
강력한
specified
효과를 주는
dungeons
아이템입니다.
only, and which is an item providing strong effects.
4층의 마지막 방을
And then
클리어하면
after clearing
층으로
the
넘어갑니다.
last room of the layer, you can move on to the next layer.
이러한 방식으로 마지막
Then
층까지 도달하여
reaching the final layer, you would collect the golden bow. That's the target of the story dungeon.
히스클리프. 사람 박살내는 건 내 전문이지.
저를 이스마일이라고 불러주세요. 안녕, 로자야.
잘 먹고 잘 사는 놈들은 믿을 게 못 돼.
그 지옥 같은 바다에서 살아남은 건 나뿐이었을까? 모든 게 돈처럼 다시 걷어들일 수 있으면 좋을 텐데.
거울 던전은
Mirror Dungeon is one of the Limbus Company main contents, where you enter one of the world connected by the diversified mirrors and then explore inside.
거울 던전은
Mirror Dungeon is a roguelite method, and through the events and the battles, you would collect EGO gifts and also enhance the personality and the EGO, and also establish the strongest sinners, which is different from Story Dungeon. In order to enter the Mirror Dungeon, you need a currency of Enkepharim box, and you can enter there for free once per day. Without using Enkepharim box, you can enjoy Dungeon, which is a different simulation mode, regardless, but although you cannot get the reward. And according to the number of layers you completed exploration for the Mirror Dungeon, you can get the Battle Pass experience value as a reward, and then you can get the bonus experience value so at the specified frequency per week. And when you enter the Mirror Dungeon, the EGO gift will be presented. And then you would choose one of them, and then you can decide the direction of identity and the EGO combination in order to go forward in the dungeon. And there are a variety of EGO gifts in the Mirror Dungeon, and also the effect is different. And if they are combined properly, you can expect a huge synergy. And after selecting the EGO gift, you have to select the 3 sinners to go with you first out of 12.
에고 기프트를 선택한 다음에는 12명의 수감자 중 처음 데려갈 3명을 선택합니다. 남은 9명의 수감자는
Remaining 9 sinners will join depending on the progress of the Miller Dungeon. You can choose identity and EGO, which matches EGO gift effects and directions you choose, and structure your own energy. Rooms and routes in the Miller Dungeon are randomly created when you enter the Miller world for the first time. The battle room in the Miller Dungeon are classified into General Battle, Abnormality Battle, Dangerous Battle, and the Layer Boss depending on the difficulty and enemies you encounter. In the event room, options are given to you so that you can get EGO gifts or penalties. There are various possibilities. Unlike Story Dungeon, there is no save point in the Mirror Dungeon. You have to be careful with how to manage your power. For identities and EGOs selected in the Miller Dungeon, development stage, which is unique to the Miller Dungeon, is applied instead of already developed level. Sinner's identity and EGO might develop depending on the progress of the Miller Dungeon. Therefore, the characters you have not trained can also be sufficiently utilized in the Miller Dungeon. When you win a battle or have a particular event, you can get EGO gift.
에고 기프트의 효과는 전투에 큰 영향을
The effects
끼치거나
from EGO gifts might make a big impact in a battle. It might help the progress of dungeon. The more difficult a battle is, the higher possibility to get better EGO gift as a reward. The more you play the Miller Dungeon, new EGO gifts are released. With the newly released EGO gifts, you can check the effects on the Miller Dungeon window. When they are locked, you can check the condition to release them. There are various options you can take in the event room. Depending on what you choose, Sinner can recover to make a progress in the Miller Dungeon, or new identities and EGO can be added to your deck. You can also get EGO gifts. For some of the event rooms, you are able to get information about the reward beforehand. That will be a good clue to judge which direction you should go in the dungeon. Like this in the Miller Dungeon, you make a progress by overcoming randomly generated battles and events. It is important to remember that the sinner's power is sustained in the Miller Dungeon. When you clear the last room of each layer, you can either move to the next layer for a better reward, or you can end your challenge with the current reward. In the Miller Dungeon, when you complete your challenge, you can get reward which is proportional to the layer you complete. You get reward of dungeon and battle pass experience. You can receive additional battle pass experience points only 5 times in a week when you clear. That was about how Limbus Company system works.
싱클레어라고 해요.
오티스입니다.
그래 구르다.
내가 어떻게 해야 했던 거야?
이 길의 시작은 분명 여행이었다.
그 풍경인가?
이번에는 림버스 컴퍼니의 비즈니스 모델에 대해
Now let me
설명을
explain the
드리겠습니다.
business model of Limbus
림버스
Company.
컴퍼니의 대표적인 비즈니스 모델에는
As representative business models of Limbus Company, we have lottery and battle pass. First of all, let me talk about lottery. You can get identity by using insanity, which is a paid currency for this game. When you get an identity you already have, you can get a piece of identity of each character depending on its rarity. You can collect a piece of identity to create an identity.
Next, let me talk about the battle pass. So, for a specified time, you can get the reward according to the progress of the gameplay. And if you complete the mission, or if you complete the mirror dungeon, you can increase the pass level. And from the battle pass, you can get a variety of rewards. And the highest reward is the EGO, which can be installed by the sinner. And the reward of battle pass is a basic pass reward and a premium pass reward. So if you continue your game's diligent tree, you can get the in-game rewards like EGO and or you can buy them, and the premium pass is released, and then you can get the additional EGO and more in-game currencies. And through the battle pass, the rewards are like this. For basic pass rewards, you can get the insanity and Hurricane box, and also experience ticket and core in-game currencies. And also you can get EGO related with the main stories for each season. And for the premium pass rewards, you can get the level up ticket or identity piece or battle announcer and additional egos. And also the battle pass is operated by the season, and in the next season, the existing battle pass is end, and the next battle pass and EGO would appear. In a specified season, the EGO, if you cannot get the EGO, after 2 seasons, after the release, you can remake the piece of identity. For each season, main contents and main story will be updated, and in a 3 months to 4 months cycle, it will be updated. For each season, you can get the new EGO together with the new battle pass. And when the season finished, you can carry over the previous sanity and also the identity. When the season ends, you can carry over the piece of identity piece which was from the former season. And this is to carry over the resources which are used as a ceiling of the game of existing collecting time. If you want to create the new season identity as soon as possible, you can choose that one. And also, if you pursue the effective direction, you can create the identity and EGO before starting the new season. And also, in addition to them, you have the monthly fixed payment system to provide the currency for the game periodically. However, you don't have to pay for that in order to enjoy the game. And also, Battle Announcer is a system to add the announcer character and its lines. In addition to the battle pass, you can purchase the battle announcer with the paid money. In a nutshell, the major business model is lottery and premium battle pass. And also supplemental business model is a recovery of stamina and monthly fixed payment package and battle announcer and sales. That's how we're going to operate Limbus Company.
지금까지 제약 분명 잔혹 RPG 림버스 컴퍼니에 대한 소개였습니다. 림버스 컴퍼니는
So that's for our company business. Our Limbus Company will be launched in second half of 2022. So let's stay tuned to enjoy the games, and also according to the schedule, we're going to do our best to provide the game to you. Thank you very much for your support as before. Thank you.